Welcome to GAEL Unscripted, where leadership meets learning and real conversations drive real impact. I'm Ben Wiggins, Executive Director of GAEL. Join us as we go beyond the headlines with Georgia's top education leaders. Let's elevate the conversation. We've got a special guest today. You already recognize Cindy Flesher from GAEL, but we've also got Kerensa Wing and Wanda Law, and we are here today to talk about leadership coaching. Cindy, just for the two GAEL members that may not know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself very quickly, let them know what you do at GAEL, and then we'll go to Kerensa and then to Wanda.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy Flesher, and I'm the Professional Learning Coordinator for GAEL. Have been serving in this role for about 5 years now. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we really try to focus on providing quality professional learning and opportunities for people to network in everything that we do. So we're hoping that you'll hear more about this leadership coaching training that we're offering this summer and want to participate.
Hi, I'm Kerensa Wing, and I am one of the co-directors for the GAEL Coaching Division. And I'm excited to be able to help deliver the leadership coaching micro-credentialing virtually.
Hi, everyone. I'm Wanda Law. I'm the conference specialist for GAEL. I also work closely with Cindy with our Aspiring Principals Academies. Enjoy that and have been doing the leadership coaching presentations for about 3 years now and really enjoy it, getting to meet new leaders and really working on coaching skills. So looking forward to having some of you participate with us.
All right, so we've got some leadership coaching training coming up in June. And I think we have two opportunities, two different dates. One is a virtual date, one is a face-to-face. So let's talk first about the virtual option. For those that would like to join virtually, where do they sign up? Where do they register? I think we've sent out a couple of emails. Maybe if they did a search in their email for leadership coaching, that'll come up. But just talk to them a little bit about what that would look like from a virtual perspective.
Kerensa, I'll let you explain a little bit about the virtual experience, but I'll give them some of the details about the virtual training date. That's going to be on June the 1st, and we will log into a Teams call at 8 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock. And the fee to participate in this coaching class for either the in-person or virtual is $150 for GAEL members, and then for non-members, it's $200. And the virtual training has been an excellent way to reach people that can't come in person, and Kerensa does a fabulous job in planning that and delivering it. Kerensa, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. So typically we have about 25 to 30 people in the virtual training, and so it's a reasonable number of folks, but also a great opportunity to collaborate with leaders across the state that are wanting to do some coaching in whatever role that they're in. And the leadership coaching micro-credentialing is really providing you with some basic coaching skills as well as some coaching frameworks to use during your coaching experience, and you'll have the opportunity to interact. It's very interactive. The virtual is not sitting yet. It is very much, we are doing activities, going into breakout rooms, having lots of conversations with other leaders from around the state about coaching skills and how to improve those. And just why would you want to have a coaching experience with those that you're working with versus a more management type of relationship. So just really looking at why coaching is important and how it can help you lead in a different way.
Perfect. And we're going to get to a lot of those details as we get into it some more. Cindy, did you have something?
Yes, I was just going to say for both of these, it's not just a one and done training day, in person or virtual. It's that one day, and then we follow up with 3 virtual check-ins, because the expectation is they take what they learn in the one-day session and start applying it in a real coaching situation. So we'd want them to have someone that they plan to coach starting at the beginning of the next school year. And we'll check in in August and September and October to kind of make sure they're staying on track and also provide a few more resources and some training along the way. These are just 1 hour virtual sessions that we'll talk through some of that and network again, talking to other people and hearing about what issues they may be having or questions they may be having. So you don't earn your micro-credentialing badge until the last virtual session, which is in October. And all of these opportunities and others are on our GAEL website at gael.org on the events page. You can see more information about them and register for them.
Perfect. So Kerensa is the leader or facilitator for the online course, and Cindy and Wanda tag team the face-to-face. Tell us what that date is and what's that location. And just very quickly, without getting into a lot of details, because we'll get to that in a bit, but what can they expect in a short summary from the face-to-face?
All right, that date is Tuesday, June the 16th, and we will be meeting at the Rivers Crossing building in Athens. That's located at 850 College Station Road. That's also happens to be where the GAEL office is, so you'll get to see where we operate from. And that will be from 8:30 until 3:30 that day. And Wanda is the in-person instructor. And Wanda, I'll let you tell them a little bit about the training there.
Thank you, Cindy. The training for in-person is very similar to the virtual. It's just that we're going to do it in person. For some people, they like to have that interaction. So the content, the text of the work we're doing is the same as the virtual. So you're going through the same steps, but it is the opportunity, one, to meet other leaders throughout the state. And then the activities that we're doing, you'll be doing collaboratively in different groups with partners and just working on learning what that difference is between serving as a mentor with a lot of you already do, and then changing that over to be a coach. And I'm just practicing those steps while you're with us. We'll do some comparisons and some activities where you actually get to practice with 2 other people going through some coaching scenarios.
Perfect. So let's jump right into it. What is leadership coaching? You just mentioned mentoring. So talk to us a little bit about what leadership coaching is and how's it different than mentoring, just real quick. Who wants to?
All right. So mentoring is really sharing your experience with someone that you're helping along the way. It might be a new leader, and just really telling them about your experiences. So hopefully they can glean something from that and apply it in their current situation. With coaching, we are really working on the skills of active listening, open-ended questions to really help the leader that you're coaching think through what are their goals, and then what steps do they need to take to get there, and trying to expand their thinking with what types of options can we look at to achieve those goals, where can we innovate, but really allowing the coachee to be the one that drives the coaching session with whatever their goals are. It's not about what I know, it's about what they want to know, and helping them using questions to help them get to their end goal.
Perfect. So let's talk about who this training is for. I'm a GAEL member. I'm hearing about leadership coaching. If I'm an assistant principal, would this be something that'd be good for me? If I was a principal, is it only for district office people? Is it good for special ed? Who is this for?
Wanda, you want to answer that?
Sure. I think it could be for any of those people. So in your role, if you have someone that you're guiding or working with, that wants to improve and build in their skills, then you can serve as a coach. So it might be somebody that you're evaluating. It might be somebody that you're not evaluating. It could be a principal. It could be an assistant principal in a school, anybody in the district office. It could be those areas as well. It could be a teacher that's coaching a new teacher that's come in. So it really is open to all levels, just someone that's really wanting to work with others in building their capacity and their roles.
Perfect. So we talk about all the time with leadership, building our bench and building our own for people, for a pipeline. This is a great opportunity for schools and school districts to build a pipeline for coaches. And so then you can have some in-house coaches to help new leaders come along. So talk about that a little bit, Kerensa. What are the benefits to a school or a school district having some trained coaches that are able to do this process with their new leaders?
Um, from my perspective, I really feel like having the skills to be able to do the coaching is important because it's going to be a very individualized method of helping someone grow. So even if you're doing some type of professional learning for like, all your leaders in your district, following up and having that individualized opportunity to coach them through how they are applying that learning is critical in helping leaders develop their capacity and think differently, especially if they're like in a new role. And it doesn't, you can coach anybody. It doesn't have to be a new leader. It could be anybody that's wanting to grow and really having that growth mindset around how do I push myself and push my thinking to act differently in the future in my leadership role. So having those skills to be able to lead someone through that process, I think is critically important in growing the capacity of your district, even if it's an evaluator that's coaching somebody, because in some cases that, you have to serve those dual roles depending on where you're working, but having those skills to do that and being able to delineate what you're doing with that person, I think is important. So I think the micro-credentialing really helps them put together a set of skills that will help others grow in their district.
Perfect. So it's a great opportunity, like we said, for a school or school district to have in-house trained coaches to be able to work with their people, whether they're in new positions or you see some potential in them. A lot of districts have their own in-house leadership development programs and investing a lot of time, effort, and money in building up their next generation of leaders. This leadership coaching is an excellent opportunity to have people trained inside of your district so that they can begin to push out into those schools and throughout the district to make sure that you're truly growing your own. Is there anything else any of you would like to add about the leadership coaching, the benefits, the advantages, why you think it's important for a school district to do this?
One other thing I was wanting to mention is something new that we're starting this year is at the end of the 3 virtual sessions of support that we provide, we're going to provide ongoing support for the people that have gone through the leadership coaching training. Kerensa, you want to tell them some more about that and what we're planning?
So we do have a group of GAEL executive coaches that meets every month. In a collaborative session where we work on ongoing work with coaching skills, and then we get to practice with each other. And it's just to continue to hone our craft, because very often you might be in a coaching scenario and you might not have a job alike that you can work with. So this will be an opportunity that we'll have every month for people that have gone through the micro-credentialing to join in with our GAEL coaches in a monthly coaching connection to continue to work on their coaching skills and have a group of people that they can collaborate with about coaching.
Perfect.
And Ben, I was just going to add to that. I think the continuation of it and building that cohort group is a big part of this leadership coaching. When we do those follow-up sessions that Cindy mentioned earlier in those 3 months after our training, the virtual group meets together with the in-person group. So we become a larger group for those follow-up. And there's that networking, which we talk often about in GAEL, and the importance of having those networks and people you can reach out to. So that ongoing support and learning as they're continuing to go in their coaching cycle, and we're talking about what's worked for them, what maybe are they struggling with, they can get some suggestions on how to work some more with that, or something to try, and that's always helpful.
Perfect. One of you talk a little bit about, sometimes people ask this question, can I only coach people? Kerensa mentioned job alike. So can I only coach principals if I've been a principal? Can I only coach a special ed director if I've been a special ed director? Do I have to have HR experience to coach an HR director? Talk about that a little bit, because sometimes I do think people kind of misunderstand that and think that they can only coach people that served in that very, very similar role. Even though in athletic coaching, we know there are coaches all over that coach a a sport in a position that maybe they didn't play. But talk about that a little bit. Ex-basketball coach Kerensa Wing.
No, you do not have to have experience in the area of the person that you're coaching. And I would say I probably do a better job coaching somebody whose role I do not know because I'm more curious and I'm less likely to have this impulse to give advice, which is not what a coach does.
Yeah. And that's probably the hardest thing, is not to give advice. And so you're right. If it's not in your area, then it does make it a little easier just to stick to questions.
Perfect. Anything else any of you would like to say before we sign off of this episode?
I can't think of anything, but if you are interested in this and you have any further questions, you can certainly reach out to me. My cell phone number is 478-256-8589, or email is cflesher@GAEL, GAEL.org, and I'll be happy to assist you in any way. And we would love to see you in June 1st for the virtual, or June 16th for the in-person in Athens.
Perfect. You heard that. If you're interested, or you've got a team in your school or district that you would like to get trained, go ahead and jump on that registration. It'll be some great professional learning that truly you could reap the benefits for years to come with your leaders. So thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Kerensa and Cindy, for joining us this week for this episode of GAEL Unscripted. All right.